Cohen. Filling in on bass tonight, our regular bass player Yoshi Fruchter is on tour in Poland with his group Pitom. So Ari Fulman-Cohen doing a masterful job filling in. On drums, Rich Huntley. On guitar, Alan Watsky. I'm Binyomin Ginzberg, and we're the Breslov Bar Band. Now, the Breslov, for those of you who don't know, is a Hasidic community, largely based now in Israel, although there are some Breslovers found elsewhere around the world. And as is customary among Hasidim, so you have a little bit to drink in the back, you sing, some music, so it's also customary to tell a story of the Rebbes of some Rebbe or another. It's called a Chasidic Maisa. And so although I'm not a Chassid, I'm going to share a story with you anyway. So there's a tale of two famous rabbis, the Rebbe Reb Elimelech and the Rebbe Reb Zusha. They were two brothers, and they used to exile themselves from time to time. They would travel incognito around to different cities, and people wouldn't know who they were. They would just be the local poor beggars, and they did it to work on their humility and so forth. And so one time something went missing in a little town, and so the Rebbes got blamed, the newcomers, the new indigent people in town got blamed for stealing. And so they were in jail. And the Rebbe Reb Zusha looked at the Rebbe Reb Melech, and so he was very sad. He says, Melech, why are you so sad? And he says, well, Zusha, it's almost sundown. It's time, it's the last few minutes when we can daven mincha, when we can pray the afternoon service. And there's no bathroom, there's a bucket here. And so I can't pray if there's a bucket in the cell. And so I'm sad because I'm going to have to miss mincha. And so the Rebbe Reb Zusha looked at him and he said, the law is, the halacha is, that if there's a bucket, you're not supposed to pray. So what God wants from you now is to not pray. And so the Rebbe Reb Melech heard this, he cheered right up. In fact, he got so happy, he grabbed Zusha's hand and they start dancing around the bucket. And the other prisoners join in, and they're dancing around the bucket, and one of the guards sticks his head in and says, what's going on? What's all this? And he drags out one of the prisoners and says, what's going on? He says, we don't really know what's going on. But these two prisoners, they were sad, and one of them said something to the other. All of a sudden they got happy, they started dancing around the bucket, and the joy was just contagious. So the guard looks at the dancing. This can't be allowed to happen. And he grabs the bucket, pulls it out of the cell, and the Rebbe Reb Melech puts on his gartel and proceeds to daven mincha, proceeds to daven the afternoon service. So we're going to continue with another song. Thank you. So we're